What's going on, family and friends? Fuentes here. XRP Las Vegas was an incredible experience. So much content, so much insight, and a lot to unpack. But before I head off to my next stop, Consensus in Miami, I want to share a story that stood out. At XRP Las Vegas, the first ever Shark Tank Hackathon hosted by the EasyA founders, Dom and Phil Kwok, brought together some of the most talented developers building on the XRP Ledger. Out of all the projects, one stuck out with me, James Wood, an 18-year-old developer from South Africa about to take his final high school exams before heading to college in London. He's the founder of TierraDex, a marketplace for tokenized real estate focused on raw land, minerals, and farmland. James didn't win the hackathon, but he earned something more important: respect, connections, and the attention of a global community. It was so awesome to see his dad watching and filming in the audience. What a proud moment. Anyways, this is James' story and a glimpse into the future of what's being built on the XRP Ledger. Thanks for tuning in. Love you mucho. What's going on, family and friends? It's day one of the XRP Las Vegas conference, the largest XRP conference in the world, and I'm standing next to James Wood, a hackathon participant of the first ever Shark Tank Hackathon sponsored by the EasyA, Dom and Phil Kwok brothers. He might just be the winner standing right next to me. James, how are you doing here today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, what are you building?
So I'm building TierraDex, and it's a decentralized exchange that tokenizes real-world assets. So that basically means you can buy land for as little as $50.
Really?
Yes.
And what type of land? Is this raw land anywhere in the world?
So you can buy any type of land. It was focused towards land with raw materials underneath or farmland. But you can also tokenize real estate and buy fractional ownership of real estate or anything like that.
And how did you get inspired to build this platform?
So since the beginning of my junior year, about a year and a half ago, I was always building small codes on the XRP Ledger, like trust lines. And then just recently, I got this idea of tokenization. And it became really real for me when I met with an alumni from my school. And that's when I started really believing in the idea, because I saw the change it could make in the world.
Yeah. Why the XRP Ledger?
I use the XRP, it's always what I've known, the XRP Ledger. I use it for 3 to 5 second settlements and fraction of a cent transaction fees. That's the main thing. And then obviously the security, it's protocol level security. I don't think there's any other technology or blockchain network that can rival the XRP Ledger, especially with my use case.
Yeah. James, I'm really impressed, sir. How old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18 years old? Get out of here. We're in Vegas. How'd you get in this room? I'm kidding. The fact that you're 18 years old, I mean, that's massive. We need to inspire the next wave of builders. Why is it important for the next generation to be focused on blockchain in this evolution of technology?
Like any time there's a new technology that's introduced, anybody that understands the technology can get ahead. So I understand blockchain, and I think this is an opportunity for me to get ahead, similar to the tech boom in the 90s, or if you know AI now, you can get ahead if you know how to use AI. But beyond just for a selfish pursuit, I think understanding it allows you to bring regulatory framework. So if you start to get more people learning about these networks and seeing that it has purpose, it's not just fake money online, right? There's purpose built behind it to make the world a better place. Yeah. That's how you start making changes in legal framework.
Yeah. What type of change do you think we're going to see with the intersection of AI and these digital asset decentralized payment rails?
I mean, I've been using an integration of AI and blockchain. I think it definitely has a play in the future. People should definitely be using it because it makes things more effective, more efficient, and more clarity, more legal. Yeah. So I think it's important.
Any other developments in the ecosystem that you're excited about?
So I actually have an AI Oracle system. So to cross-reference on my platform to make sure that all the payments going out and it's all actual value of the land, I use AI that cross-references with public records, so tax returns, to make sure that people are buying what they actually own and people are getting what they actually deserve if they own the land. And that's a good cross-section between AI and blockchain.
Yeah, what a great source of information too. You go to your property taxes and then you see the value of the land versus the actual building. Yeah. And then you go online to Redfin and the house is 10x that value. Why are we seeing that?
Exactly, and that's important to introduce that into the app so people aren't paying, $1 million for land that costs $100,000.
Yeah. Well, hey, James, this has been a very thought-provoking and a really exciting and I would say refreshing conversation. Yes. to be standing next to someone that's as young as you are, as accomplished. Where are you from?
So I was born in South Africa, but I live in Arizona right now.
Wow.
And I'm going to study in London next year.
Man, a globetrotter as well. So we've got a builder, an entrepreneur, a dreamer, and somebody that's hovering above the target when it comes to the future of finance, underpinned by the XRP Ledger. James, I hope you have a great rest of your time at XRP Las Vegas, and good luck at the hackathon, sir.
Thank you, Ray. Hi, my name is James Wood, and I'm the founder of TierraDex. A little bit about me, I'm an 18-year-old high schooler graduating on May 15th, and I've been in the XRP community since I was 10 years old. And I remember that, thank you. And I remember that because my dad gifted me XRP on December 25th, 2018, which was Christmas. Land is the most valuable asset on earth, and the smartest money in the world knows it. Companies like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon have collectively invested billions of dollars into AI and data center infrastructure, increasingly targeting rural and agricultural land. Meanwhile, farmers are still working on the same land they've always had, trying to feed a world that needs 50% more food by 2050. And yet 99% of people cannot invest in it. Why is the largest asset class still trading like it's 1950? We're talking about a $30 trillion global market, and it still runs on paper deeds, lawyers, and 6-month closings. The minimum investment is at least $500,000. That locks out the entire middle class. It's massive, it's untapped, and it's completely inaccessible to the ordinary investor. Introducing TierraDex. TierraDex tokenizes real-world assets on the XRP Ledger. We let you buy fractional ownership, we let you trade your tokens on our liquid markets, and we let you see distributions from leased or farmed assets. Now, instead of showing you what TierraDex could be, I'm going to show you what it actually is. Here, you see the portfolio. Take a look at Blue Ridge Timberland. Notice how we have 9 tokens with 1.13% ownership and an $18 value. We're going to go buy a real token now. So notice here, we have USD. We're integrating MoonPay integration so that people that don't understand XRP can still invest in this land. We'll buy 2 tokens.
Buy them all.
We don't have the money for that. This is all on the testnet, by the way. It takes about 10 seconds. There we go. And we can view it in our portfolio. Notice how we have 11 tokens, 1.38%, and $22 worth of value, and our portfolio value went up. And if you want to check it on the testnet ledger, you can see 15 XRP balance down to 12. Now, there are 3 converging megatrends: a $150 billion AI infrastructure boom, a rise in global food demand by 50%, and a $16 trillion tokenization wave, which was predicted by BlackRock and BCG, and TierraDex is at the center of all 3. We're building the Robinhood of land investment on the XRP Ledger. The land market is about to transform. We're the rails. Thank you.
Very cool, James. Curious, how did you source the deal, the land? Why this land are able to resell on your platform?
Sorry?
How do you source the deal? How are you able to find out those land?
Yeah, so I don't tokenize land. We have people that tokenize their own land for themselves. And when you create an account, you have an issuer and an investor. The issuers can list assets where they will upload appraisals and legal documentation to verify the land's actually theirs.
And the primary market is the US, or are you thinking about the other markets?
So we'll start wherever we can start. The US would be great, but also we can expand internationally, because a lot of the time you have dual citizens who might want to still have land in their own country. I'm from South Africa initially, and I know my parents would love it if they could own land in South Africa.
Awesome. It's a really cool idea. When you look at how big this can get, I could see this being helping the XRP Ledger become the place where land ownership happens, where it's tokenized. How big do you think this could get? What types of land do you think there will be? Is it farmland? Is it real estate? Is it even, for example, oil sites, exploration, gold mines?
Yeah, so the initial idea was land, but we actually have built to cater for multiple things. So if you go into the marketplace, you can see the different types. We have land, real estate, energy, infrastructure projects, and aircrafts. And I've recently talked to a coffee company in Phoenix, and they would see if they can raise capital for their company through this. And there's definitely a huge market in this. Like I was saying, with infrastructure growing, land is a huge asset, and there's trillions of dollars going into it in the coming years.
Exactly, but most people can't invest.
Exactly, the entire middle class.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamie, this was your first ever hackathon, brother. What was it like? What did you learn? What was the experience?
It was an awesome experience. It was great exposure to the XRP community. This was my first time at XRP Las Vegas. It was so exhilarating being on that stage in front of the entire crowd. It was awesome.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
This was my first time speaking in front of a large stage, and I was able to learn so much just from the experience, right? Learn by doing, that's a motto, and I was so thankful for that.
Yeah. What are some of the key themes or key moments that you learned from? Like what getting on stage? Was it practicing before the pitch? Setting up the pitch itself? I mean, what were some key themes that you're proud of yourself for?
Yeah, I mean, all of what you mentioned were definitely things I've learned. Practicing for the pitch, I am fortunate. I had friends that were able to help me. They gave me tips: do this, do this, do this. And what I learned the best was presence on stage. I was able to build a presence and speak confidently, and that's a skill that not many people have, and I was able to learn here.
Yeah, you did a really great job, and I'm super impressed, especially for being only 18 years old, Jamie. How important is it for those in the audience that are roughly or relatively around the same age to be focusing on this new space or to be participating in these new ways of basically either securing a job, building a company, growing your network? Because the old ways of sending a resume as a means of trying to get an employment is over. What you're doing today is so critical. I mean, you've met so many people. What are your thoughts? Do you think the approach for kids or young adults your age, do you think that they should be maybe getting out of their comfort zone and doing what you just did?
Yeah, I will say this is the perfect time, the perfect opportunity for anyone young to start building something. With AI, with blockchain emerging, with YouTube, you can learn practically anything. There's so much opportunity, and any kid should take advantage of it as much as possible.
You didn't win, but are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like I've won. Even having the opportunity to present on the main stage, I gained tons of experience, which is super important, tons of exposure. I met a lot of great people, and I learned a lot of great things about the XRP Ledger, emerging technologies, and developers and what they're building.
Jamie, you're a breath of fresh air. It's so great to see the next wave of developers, builders here in this room, excited on the tech. Any final comments before I let you go?
I just want to say thank you so much, Ray. You've been awesome during this conference. Thank you. Subscribe to Ray.
You heard it. I'll be sure to copy the links to, what's the name of your company again?
TierraDex at TierraDex.com.
Excellent. I'll be sure to copy the links in the comments and descriptions below. Jamie, have a safe travel home, sir.
Thank you so much, Ray.